Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about email security. So we'll start first by saying why do we need email security, and then we will discuss two of the protocols that secure emails, which are Pretty Good Privacy (PGP) and S/MIME. So let's get started and talk about why do we need email security. And here is a paragraph or a section of one of the contracts that I had previously with an attorney, and it has a full section that talks about email. And it says that client understands that email is not always private because employers may access employees' private email to from work computers and accounts. Email can be the subject of subpoenas of or search warrants or may otherwise be obtained by police, prosecutors, or third party. Um, and it says that client is urged to use caution communicating with anyone, including attorney, via email, and discouraged from email with regard to substantive matters in the case. So why is that? That is simply because essentially your email threads and your emails that reside that you can see in your inbox can actually be read by the email provider. So they are not encrypted, they are not private. Anyone who has access to the email servers can see what these emails are because you certainly are subscribed to and with an email service provider. So one of the ways to have email secured is called Pretty Good Privacy. It's developed in 1991 by a respected research security researcher called Phil Zimmerman, and it provides three main things. It provides integrity, authentication, and confidentiality. So you can make sure that the email is correct, is coming from the source it's claiming to be, and no one else other than you is able to see what's in the email. But it's based on the web of trust, and this is what we're going to look at and see what does that mean. And then later on, you'll be urged to download software and run it in order to send out secure emails. So first of all, why don't many people use PGP? It's a little complicated. People try to simplify it a lot, but it has not been utilized that much in the last decade or so. So here's a quick video that I want to show you where someone is trying to make it look simple to use PGP, and this is the video that they create.
It may have a reputation for being difficult and finicky to set up, but encrypting your email isn't that difficult to do. All you need is a mail client like Thunderbird or Postbox, both of which are available for Windows and OS X, and Thunderbird's available for Linux, the Enigmail plugin for Thunderbird or Postbox, and GPG. GPG is short for GNU Privacy Guard, which is a free GPL licensed alternative to PGP, which is proprietary. PGP, or Pretty Good Privacy, is the technology we're going to use, and GPG is the tool. Make sense? All right. You'll want to install GPG first, whether it's GPG Tools on the Mac, GPG for Win on Windows, or just the command line GPG for Linux. Make sure you have it installed first. Then, go ahead and install the Enigmail plugin for Thunderbird or Postbox. Don't worry about all the nuances right yet, but once you have it installed, fire it up. We're going to use that to create our public key, the one we share with anyone who wants to send us encrypted mail or wants to receive encrypted mail from us, and our private key, the one that we keep to ourselves. Open the key management window from the PGP menu. I have a few keys in here already. You can click the Generate menu if you need to generate a new key pair. Pick your email address from the list. Give the key a good, strong password that you'll use to encrypt and decrypt messages every time you send them or receive them, and generate your key. That's all there is to it. Now, whenever you compose a new message like this, you can hit the Open PGP button or the menu at the top and click to sign or encrypt your message. Once it's encrypted, it'll look like garbled text like this to anyone who doesn't have your key. Even attachments are encrypted too. Here's a catch. The person you're sending the message to needs to have your public key in order to make heads or tails of your message, and they'll need to be set up just like you are. That means PGP encryption is only as good as the number of people who use it. So it's a great reason to set it up for yourself, just in case somebody else wants to use it with you. After all, whether it's the NSA that's spying on you, or you're worried about companies scanning your email to target advertisements, or even if it's just a more common identity thief or hacker looking to steal credit card data or passwords, keeping your conversations encrypted and private using PGP is something worth doing, even if you only use it for those really important emails and sensitive documents like bank statements, contracts, medical histories, secret emails to your love interest, stuff like that.
So as you can see, it seems that it's very, very simple to use PGP. Someone creates a video and shoots it out, and everybody should understand what PGP is. So actually, I don't think that's the case, but anyways. So as he said in the video, PGP starts by installing a tool that allows you to use the PGP protocol. So if you're using a Mac, you can download the GPG tools. If you're using a Windows, you can download something called GPG for Win. But essentially, you're looking for two main things. You're looking for GPG Mail, something that interacts with your mail client application, and something that has a keychain that can store your key and other people's key. Because remember, we said that GPG or PGP depends on a web of trust. So here is an example of an email that that was sent to me, as you can see, in April 17, 2017, and it just has something that says, "I just got Thunderbird working, blah blah blah." But there is this red box that says, "This message has a digital signature. The digital signature could not be validated because the S-MIME control isn't available." This is an email that I received on my Microsoft Outlook, but it is signed with PGP, and Microsoft Outlook doesn't support PGP, and that's why it couldn't understand the digital signature. However, I also have the mail application that comes with the Mac OS, and this one supports understanding what PGP is and how it works. So that's why when I open the same email with the mail application, it shows me part here where it says security, and it says it's signed by DAH4PE at virginia.edu, and it was able to verify the signature, and that's why it has the check mark. Similarly, if someone sends something that is encrypted and signed, if you open it up with any email client that does not support PGP, you will see something like this. There is a blank email that has nothing in it, and it doesn't say anything. You cannot know what's going on in this email except that it says in one of the attachments, "Open PGP encrypted message." However, if you open the same message with a mail client that understands how the PGP protocol works, you will see something like this. It will tell you this is coming from UI Liu, and it's encrypted and signed, which means that nobody other than me can read it, and it's authenticated that the person who claimed to be, who sent it, is the right person who sent this. And in the body it says, "Professor Ibrahim, this is supposed to be an encrypted email." Great. So what does the web of trust means? It means that in order for PGP to work, every participating individual should be able to generate their own public-private key pairs and should be able to push their public key that is used for the email PGP security into a cloud server such that anybody can fetch it, and they keep their private key for themselves. But when we discussed public-private key at the like in mid-semester or something like that, we said that the most important part is to be able to certify these keys, because anybody can fake a public key announcement. So how does this certification happen in PGP? It happens by having the web of trust, which means that people sign each other keys. For example, in the screen that you're looking at right now, you will find that at certain point I was signing Camille Foster's key. And I was signing the key to say that I verify that this is Camille Foster and this is her private, or this is her public key. And then I create a signature that gets attached with her public key, and everyone who knows Camille and who knows her public key, and this has to be personal at some time, should go there and say, I would like to sign that key to tell everyone that I know that this is the true key for Camille Foster, such that if someone else impersonates Camille Foster and push another public key to the cloud, people who look at the public keys will be able to look at those and say, oh, this one has signatures by people that I know, and this one does not have any signature, so I will use the Camille's key that was signed by Professor Ibrahim or something like that. How do you look up for keys? There is a button that is called lookup key, and you can see here this is a lookup key button, which when you click on it, you can search over here either by email or by name or by something like that, and then you can search for public keys, and then it shows you who has this public key. So it comes here and shows you that this is Camille Foster, this is the email, and the key information is going to be over here. But then when you go to the user IDs, you can find the signatures part here, and you can find that I have signed this email or this key association with Camille Foster's email that was created on that date, and my signature expires on that date. So it provides integrity, authenticity, and confidentiality, and it's based on Web of Trust, as you have seen. I hope you don't have any questions right now. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or post on Piazza. And now we will take a look on S-MIME and how it differs from PGP. So S-MIME is a secure multi-purpose internet mail extensions that provides security services to electronic messages. It does provide the same security services as PGP. It provides authentication, integrity, sometimes non-repudiation, but we'll not get into that. And it provides confidentiality as well. So how does it provide authentication, and how does it provide encrypt or confidentiality? It provides authentication and integrity by the use of digital signatures, and it specifically uses RSA with SHA-1 to do digital signatures. And it provides message encryption in order to provide confidentiality by using AES 128-bit in the CBC mode. So essentially in S-MIME, when you have a message here that you want to send to someone and you want it to be signed by you so that they know that it's coming from an authentic sender, it's not a fabricated email, you simply take this message and sign it with your private key, and you remember the digital signature algorithm is that it just hashes the message, signs that, and then you take this signature part and attach it to the message itself. And if you want to also provide confidentiality, you take the message and the signature and encrypt both of them with a session key that you generate. But remember, how will the other party get the session key? So the problem here is that we need the other party to also be able to retrieve the session key in order to decrypt this message and signature. So we need to take this key and encrypt it with the RSA key with the receiver's public key, such that the receiver can retrieve it securely and no one else other than the receiver can know what this key is. So at the end, this is how the message looks like. It has the encrypted key, and it has the message and the signature on the message. So if this is what goes to the, or what arrives at the receiver, what would be the reverse way to do this? And I'm asking these questions because these diagrams are likely to appear on your exam, and you'll be completing them or describing how they work. So pay attention. When the receiver receives a message, they first look at this part and they decrypt it using their private key to retrieve the secret key that was used to encrypt the message and the signature. Once they get that key, they can use it to decrypt this whole part now using that key, and this gives them the message and the signature in plain text, so they know that no one other than them can see that part. But now, they also want to verify the sender, so they will have to verify the signature that's here with this message using the sender's public key, which you have already seen in the second part of this course, and you already have drawn this diagram on exam 2. So why does it provide authenticity or authentication, and why do we believe that it's strong? Simply, the strength of S-MIME comes from the strengths of RSA and SHA-256. Because these two algorithms are strong, then we believe in S-MIME. If you use insecure protocols, then they can simply be hacked or cryptanalyzed or something like that. And why do we believe it can provide confidentiality? That is simply because it has it solves the session key distribution problem by generating a one-time symmetric key that can then get encrypted with AES 256. So, or AES 128, I'm sorry. So, what is one of the things that we need to worry about S-MIME, and how does it differ from PGP? It differs from PGP because the key generation and registration of the keys does not have to happen by the user themselves. Excuse me. So remember that we actually need to have someone who generates the key and generates a digital certificate for that key that says that this public key belongs to this person. So now this means that we need a PKI to do that for us. So remember that PGP depends on Web of Trust, but S-MIME depends on PKI and digital certificates. Signed receipts might be requested. I will go quickly over these parts. We really don't we don't need them for this video. So there are two significant differences between S-MIME and PGP, which are the key certification and key distribution, and certainly the cost. But certification distributions happens differently in both protocols. And again, this will be part on exam 3, so you need to make sure that you understand it really well. In PGP, the key certification essentially is trusted if it's signed by another PGP public key. In S-MIME, the S-MIME uses the X509 digital certificates that should be issued by someone else in order to provide the certification of the public key. How does key distribution happen in PGP? It does not include the sender's public key in each message. Recipients must obtain the sender's public key separately. So you will have to do a search for the sender's public key in order to retrieve it, or the sender must send you the public key in any form that you are sure is a secure form, or you can grab it from their web page. For example, if you go to ahmed.ai, you will find a link to my public PGP key over there, which you can download, and then you can use that for secure communication with me. In S-MIME, the digital certificates are included in the messages, and that allows recipients to verify the certificate and use the included public key to retrieve the symmetric key inside this message, which is then used to decrypt the message and retrieve it as well. So I hope that this video is useful for you. I hope it has enough explanation of why do we need email security, what is PGP, what is S-MIME, what's the difference between both PGP and S-MIME. That's the end of the video. If you have any questions, please let me know